I love Boosters. It is immediately after watching it my favorite movie of all time. I haven't felt so seen and understood as a person by watching a piece of media in such a long time. Um, Immediately seeing the costume changes and how frequently they would happen, the diversity of the style of the cast, um, felt like home. Um, as a beautiful black woman in the world, it is so beautiful and it is so refreshing to see on like a big screen how multifaceted we are and how like no one and nothing can like fit us into one mold, and how we are constantly ever changing, and how the world around us affects who we are, how we behave, how we treat our like closest friends, how we treat ourselves, how we visualize our goals and our aspirations for the future. Um, and like it did it in such an interesting way of one can have these goals that they expect for themselves and that they expect for the world while being influenced by like external circumstances that you don't see it when you're in the moment. You don't see how you are like hurting or affecting those around you, or how your view is skewing a situation, but you act out on it regardless, and how that can happen from multiple sides. And it is just so refreshing to see a filmmaker with a point of view. Um, for the last, I've been like anyone that will listen to me complain about it, I've been complaining about movies for the last 10 years, and how they are gray, boring, gritty, hardcore, realistic. And they're just like weird fucking either power fantasies or propaganda, or, and like everything's political, everything is propaganda in a way, but like we use our critical thinking caps and we apply what we know and we like learn from it. And I feel like the last 10 to 15 years of movies have like relied on the people, the viewers, the audience, not wanting to have a deeper understanding of what they're watching, like movies purely as a form of entertainment. Um, for example, the Marvel franchise. I hate the Marvel franchise. I think, one, it looks like slop. I think it looks fucking stupid. I thought it looked stupid 10 years ago, and it was first, like, I guess longer than 10 years ago, but like, oh my god, I'm so excited. Marvel and the wave of movies that have like steamrolled out of its like widespread effect, movies will rely on the audience not being fully engaged, and that is why I love going into the theater. I've always been in those theaters. Okay, um, it makes it feel like it's an event. It makes me feel going to the theaters makes me feel as though I'm part of a larger conversation. And no matter what movie I'm watching, I look into the future and I'm like, where will I be in 30 years? Will I have kids? Will I be laid up with my boo? Will I be watching this movie in fondness, or will I be cringing at myself and the political scape of the world that I was like living in that moment? And was I justified in my fear? Was I justified in my anger? Where will I be? How much will shift by then? And there are no ways to figure that out except by getting there. Um, so I love going to the theaters, but movies for the last like 10 years have relied on the viewers not being fully engaged. And by that I mean characters like fully explaining the plot for you and saying, like, giving you a full recap as to what happened 5 minutes ago or 20 minutes ago, because maybe you're scrolling on your phone and you're not entirely locked in as to what is going on. But then you like perk up when like action happens, or when a character says something raunchy or crazy or like, I love it. I like don't love that, but I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful for the future. I'm hopeful for film. I'm hopeful for class consciousness. Every single time I see a Boots Riley film, I am just reminded of myself. I'm reminded of our place in the world, and I'm also reminded that studios can do so much more. Directors can do so much more with making and like a captivating film. The mediums that were used to create I Love Boosters, absolutely phenomenal, and especially in a time where AI is so prevalent and every single studio seems to be like cutting corners in terms of not paying their graphic designers, not paying their 3D modelers, not paying their voice actors and human actors and set designers, and not appreciating the people that are play a role in making the fucking movie. I Love Boosters felt like love. It felt like a true reverence for the craft of storytelling. Like, there's a story to be told, there is a message to be learned, there's love around us to be had if we look for it. And it's already around us, it's already here. It's just a matter of looking for it. I am very happy. I'm very happy. The costuming, the set design, the angles that they took with certain aspects of the movie, I'm just blown away, honestly. What else? After the movie, I started to sit for the credits, for that like ending, that like after the movie, like the end credits scene or whatever. And then I said, I don't really need to do that. I'm sitting in my emotions, I'm sitting in my feelings, I am digesting this movie and the love that is fostering it within myself, and for the world around me. I know where I want to be right now, and it's home. It is driving home in my car. And I left, and there was another person that was also like sitting alone in the theater, like, and they had parked like right next to me, or like a car was in between us, right? And as I was walking up to my car, they were finishing a phone call, and I just asked them, hey, did you see I Love Boosters? What did you think about it? And we had a really good discussion about what it means for the world and what it means for like our sense of community and how we approach each other. And we like shared a moment of vulnerability about, with social media, we've gotten like, I personally have gotten very lonely. I'm constantly trying to balance between, oh, should I post more on Instagram? Should I post more on TikTok? I need to create more than I'm consuming, but then I end up scrolling on TikTok for hours, not engaging with anyone, not commenting, maybe liking, maybe sharing, maybe reposting, maybe saving a TikTok, maybe sending a silly video to a handful of people, but I'm not really connecting with the world in a meaningful way, or a way that feels meaningful to me. I am not a huge fan of social media anymore, because it feels like the modern day surveillance state. It is. It feels like we are self-reporting as to what we're wearing, what we're doing, who we interact with on the daily, what we do every day or every other day, or how we want to be perceived. Like, this is what I want you to think of that I do often. And for me, I have been exhausted by it. I'm really trying to build a connection with the people that are in my immediate life. And like, if everything went away, if I couldn't connect to the people across the nation that I care about and that I love, who do I know in my community that I can rely on, or that can rely on me? And so I've been like trying to put myself out. I've been putting myself out there. I've been reminding myself of the joys and the frustrations and the beauty and the fragility of everything that is around us. Since I grew up with old people, I understood death from a very early age, and I saw like my grandparents' home was filled with like all these beautiful things from their travels around the world and everything like that, and like they were accomplished, they did X, Y, and Z, but towards the end of their life they are alone and they are dying. And I want to, and I'm sure they have had similar goals, but like I want to be able to say that I have affected people in a meaningful lasting way. I want to be surrounded by those that I love. I want to finish every day knowing that I tried a little harder and that I did a little more for myself and for those around me. Um, at work recently, and not recently, but for the last like couple of months, there I there are a few like Ukrainian women that come in. There are a few like, or not a few, but like there are Hispanic women that come in, and the beautiful middle-aged Hispanic ladies are slowly, and some of the guys are slowly teaching me a little bit more Spanish. And I'll say, hola, ¿qué tal? And they'll teach me like a little bit of something else. It takes a minute to stick because I haven't been actively learning in my free time because I've been scrolling. But having that moment of connection, like seeing their, and like when I see a beautiful, like a woman with like beautiful nails or a cute shirt, I'll say bonita. And like even that small bit of knowledge that I have makes them excited. It makes them feel seen. It makes them feel like they're a part of something, and it makes me feel as though I'm helping them be seen as a person in the world. And it's lasting, you know? Even on my like really rough days where I am focused on myself, like laser focused on my issues and my problems and my pain and my torture, I'll go into work and someone will smile at me with such fondness and such warmth because I had previously given that to them. And in those moments, I can remember and I can recognize whatever internal feelings that I am going through, whatever internal conflicts that I'm having within myself. I can take a step back from that and I can remind myself, or like the world will remind me, that it will work out. It will work out. And also, half the time, I'm sad and upset. I don't remember it a week from then. And like with the Ukrainian women, like I know Privyet, I know Das Vidanya, which is Russian and not Ukrainian. I know Niet and Da. All of this I learned from Anastasia or watching Katya as a shitty little middle schooler. But it doesn't matter where I got that knowledge. Like hearing like I heard like hearing these women speak in Ukrainian or like this Eastern European accent, I was able to be like "Das Vidanya" when they were leaving, and I'd see them perk up and be like ah. And there's this one woman in particular that doesn't speak, like she barely speaks, like maybe she knows like 3 words of English, but we have like this understanding of each other and we have like this connection because that like small gesture that I made to just like reach out and to understand or to let this person know that like they are seen, they are appreciated, and that they do not have to feel like unsafe or whatever. And I love it. I love it. It is truly a beautiful world. So after watching I Love Boosters, saw this person. We had a wonderful conversation. They had to get going. I also had to get going. And so they left. I got in my car. In between us, there was a Muslim family. And like Eid, I saw that Eid just started recently. I think it was 2 days ago. I don't remember. But I know Eid is happening. And as I was like, I pulled out of my parking spot and I started driving away, and then I rolled my window down. It was this beautiful Muslim mother and her son, and I was like, excuse me. I said, excuse me, ma'am. Get here. I said, excuse me, ma'am. And she said, huh? And she like leaned in, and I said, Eid Mubarak. And I don't know that my pronunciation, a little ass. That's okay, because I'm trying and I'm learning. And I flopped saying it like 2 times, and she's like, huh? And I said, happy Eid. Like, I almost said congratulations, and it was just like, girl, what? But the message was conveyed. She got so excited. She was so happy. And then she said that I was beautiful. And I said, you too, because she was stunning. And it was like little moments like that, in which, like big moments like that, where I am reminded of how beautiful this world is. As long as we reach out, as long as we care enough to care about the people around us and care about like how we are affecting them. the world is such a beautiful place, and I love boosters. I love boosters. I believe in the power of the people. I believe in us uplifting one another and being present in our daily lives and being present as to our immediate surroundings, as well as broader conversations and broader conflicts that are happening. There's so much that we can do together, and I'm excited to see what happens in 2 years, 5 years, 15 years, 40 years. I literally can't imagine how it will be or what it will be, or like, yeah, I can't imagine what it'll be like, but I cannot wait to see how it is, to feel how it is. I love you, Boots Riley. I love you so much. I'm gonna like drink water or something. I don't know.